The neighborhood where I'm from, we're predominantly Catholic, which in this world right now offends people that I worship that God. And I gotta tell you, I'm offended by their offense. But the God that I worship said that there is no greater love than that of one who lays down his life for his friend. And God wasn't wrong, he just hadn't met us yet. See, we lay down our lives for strangers, and I think that he holds us in even greater esteem. And when I think about our members back home who are responding to boxes as we speak, and I think about the sacrifices they make, they entrusted us to protect them and their families. That's not a peace mission. That's a war mission. It's our job to fight for them. They deserve it. The firefighters down on Orlando Engine 6, in Monkston Engine 5, in San Bernardino Medic Engine 231, and the kids down the tip of Manhattan in 10 House. In my house, Engine 7 and Ladder 17, they were the first two companies at the Marathon bombing. They need us to fight for them. Every one of you to fight for them. You know, a Zulu king once said, a pride of lion led by a deer could never defeat a pride of deer led by a lion. Let's lead like lions. God bless, be strong, be you, be firefighters.
Hey, who's proud to be an American? Who out there believes in the American dream? Let me tell you a little story. My family's been fighting fires in this city for 3 generations. My grandfather come on the job here in the late 30s. Worked in a firehouse down on Congress Street. Used to sleep out in the fire escape in the summertime because it was hot. They called that firehouse the dump. Well, that firehouse fell off the back of the building when my grandfather on it broke his leg. That was before they had a union. Back then, you got hurt, you didn't work, you didn't get paid. Just that simple. So those guys, those firefighters, his brother, firefighters, soon to be his brother, union members, gave up. They used to work 13 days in a row, then get a day off. For 1 year, they all gave up their day off to make sure that my mother, the oldest of 6 kids, had food on her table. Right on. We've come a long way. We've fought our way out. Us public employees, us union members, we've fought for the American dream, to pay it forward for our kids, put a roof over our heads, get some education for our children. And the avenue, the real road that took us there, was collective bargaining. One contract at a time. We fought, we kicked, we scratched, we fought for the American dream. We fought for dignity. What do we have now? We have a day's pay. If you work long enough and stay healthy enough, you get a pension. Right now you do. You don't have to move into your children's cellar in the twilight of your life. If you get sick or your kid gets sick, you have to take him to the doctors. Is that an outrageous benefit? Is this what's bankrupt in this country? I don't think so. You know, the richest people in this country, there was only one time they were richer than they are right now. And that was 1928, before the Great Depression, when they put our work, our people, out on the street in the soup lines. But we're not going back. We're not going back in the projects. We're not going back in the soup lines. We're going to put on the war paint, and we're going to fight like hell for what we deserve. Our American dream.
It's about the day-to-day fights of making sure that our brothers and sisters, 301,000 strong across this great international, are getting the protections that they deserve. As a firefighter, in 1999, I was assigned part of a Boston team sent out to the Worcester cold storage fire, where we dug out 6 brothers who made the ultimate sacrifice. In 2001, I served with many people, I'm sure, from CAL FIRE on the pile at Ground Zero, digging out our 343 brothers that made the ultimate sacrifice in the terrorist attacks. In 2013, 15 minutes after Islamic jihadists blew up the Boston Marathon, I was on Boylston Street. I've seen the horrors of what we are forced to deal with in this day and age as firefighters. I've buried great friends. I've identified their bodies. I've notified their wives that they lost their husbands, their mothers that they lost their sons, their children that they lost their father. I know exactly the sacrifices that we make. And I'm running for this seat to bring my passion and love for who we are, to deliver my passion to you as the General Secretary Treasurer of the IAFF. I ask you for your support. I'll leave you with this. If you can't be safe, be good at what you're doing. God bless. About 24 hours ago, I was sitting at the District 3 section at our table, Local 718, when my president, Richie Paris, got the call that a good friend of mine, Johnny Fiscaldo, succumbed to job-related cancer. Fozzie left behind a 14-year-old son that I talked with him often about how hard the inevitability of the fight he was in was going to be on his son. And that's the passion that we have to focus on when we chart the course and debate how we're going to solve the challenges we face. Fozzie also, and he wasn't shy telling anybody, was a great firefighter. He was humble, not that part. But he was also one of us. Fozzie had some problems along the way of his career. Matter of fact, he was forced to resign. And through our EAP program, got treatment, got himself sober, came back on the job, went on to help hundreds of other firefighters with their behavioral health issues. Fozzie's story is every bit of what this convention is all about. Meeting our challenges head on. Vice President Mullane was right. We've been professional during the course of this entire period, and we're not going to stop now. We're not going to allow ourselves to stoop down. We're firefighters. We die for strangers. We can't be bullied. If we're not getting treated fairly by our elected officials, we'll change that. Last night, our membership, we asked our membership, in order to make our local stronger, to make sure we're prepared for the challenges that lie ahead of us. We asked them for $1.3 million to go forward. They said no. We'll give you 1.8. They gave us more. They gave themselves more than we asked for. We're strong as we've ever been. We're as united as we've ever been. Let's go into the city council chambers. Let's get our due process. Be professional. God bless. Be you, be strong, be firefighters.